So traders, I want to give you a quick market update across what's happening with the markets today with the Fed, but I also want to give you a investment that I've been investing in for the last probably month now that I believe is going to be a really good investment over the next couple of years and what's coming up forward. So let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty traders, make sure you grab that free training course link in the description there. You can get access to that for free. If you're actually losing a lot of money, the very first video in that trading course is the biggest mistakes you're making. In fact, you also get a bonus. As soon as you put your email address in to get access to the membership area, you get a bonus like hour and a half, full complete training, powerful trading system, so on and so forth. So link in the description, guys. So quick little update across the markets, guys. Looking at the futures market, the futures market has indeed come up and test this area of resistance. So the buyers are still coming in. I am not buying this. I am not buying this upside with these markets here. We've got the NQ having a little poke its head back above here, guys. I am not buying this upside. I believe this is going to be a fake out with the overall stock market before we actually start to see a movement on the downside. So that's what I'm seeing through there, guys. Again, we did have a nice little movement up to the upside with the whole Fed there. One thing, if you've been watching the markets for quite some time, you will notice that what ends up happening is that we tend to what does happen a lot is that if we have a big movement or a nice movement to the upside, when Jerome Powell comes out and does his hype thing and his song and dance and talky, one thing I've noticed is that the very next day has a very big probability of actually retrace. I've seen that so many times. So today was up. I wouldn't be too surprised if we actually got something like that today and then a bit of a pullback. So right now we're actually seeing that. In fact, if we actually look at the fear and greed index, check this out. Check this out. All right, so I'm going to bring up here the fear and greed index for you and check this out. So one thing we're looking at here is, look at this here. So we're almost at the greed level here. Okay, so if we actually have a look at this, and we look at this here from the last 12 months perspective. Right now, investors are more greedy right now than they have been in the last 12 months. Investors are more greedy now than they have been in the last 12 months. So that tells me that we're probably going to get a bit of a shake and bake. And this has been going up. And you know what the market does when it does up, we tend to get a pullback. So I wouldn't be too surprised, guys, to see this being a little fake out, little shakeout. It's probably going to get some bumblebees going long here right now because they've seen the market go up, and unfortunately most traders don't understand that how markets work is they stair step. So the market goes up for a little bit and they're eventually going to get a pullback and we stair step, right? So you don't want to be getting in as it's already gone up a lot in the markets there. So that is the very first thing that I'm actually noticing and I'm actually seeing when it comes to the market here and when it comes to the overall Nasdaq from here. So the one market that I want to share with you, the overall stock market there. So the one market that I want to share with you is this, is that if we have a look at where we know that we're headed into recession, right? We know that. So with that effect, right? We know we're heading into a recession. That's step number one, check. If we know that, and we know that we're headed into a recession, what is going to be the effect of the recession? Think about this for a minute, okay? What's probably going to happen? One, they're probably going to start to pause rates and start to cut rates. What else are they going to do? They're also going to start to what? Print more money because of the recession. With me so far? So if we actually see that, and if we actually start to know that they're going to print money, they're going to start to cut their rate. They're going to start to print money, force their long-term rates start to come back down to what? To try to buoy the overall markets again. Plus, they're going to print a lot of money. So if that's going to be the case, if we know that's going to happen over the next couple of years, we don't know. It could be this year they start to pause and cut. It could be next year they start to pause and cut, right? We don't know when, but if that's going to be the case, how can we take advantage of that cycle that's coming over the next 2 years? From now through to say, I reckon the elections next year. By the way, guys, leave a comment below. Do you think Trumpy's going to win it? Do you think Trumpy's going to win it? Again, I'm not here to debate. All right. I'm not here to say this guy's better, that guy's better. No. I'm just like, Like, this is just an open dialogue, all right? No fighting in the chat box below. Just let me know. Do you think Donald Trump is going to actually win in 2024? We're really interested in that. So if we understand what's coming, we understand that the recession is coming, we understand they're going to pause and then eventually start to cut rates. If we know that that's coming, okay, and then also, we also do know that they're probably going to print a lot of money, and by doing that, they're going to probably start to force the long-term rates down as well too. What is going to be the beneficiary of what I just said? Probably like TLT and places like TMF. So if you have a look at TMF, right? TMF, this is one that I've been investing in actually, ever since down here. I've been watching and waiting. And ever since down here, I bought here, and I also bought some more today as well too, right? So I see that because of why? Because of this cycle that I just mentioned to you. This actually may continue, this actually may go down for a bit here. It could do that. But ultimately, what is likely to happen? We're about to see what? We're about to see a slingshot move to the upside. Why? Because if the long-term rates are coming down from the effect of what I've just said, then guess what? We're going to see things like this, like the TLT market, go from $9 to 20 to 30, possibly even up to 40, right? And if we have a look at the main market, which is the TLT, we're probably likely to see TLT go from 107, possibly even up to 150, somewhere around there, right? So that's what we're looking at through there. So this is the investment that I have been making for quite some time, and I am in the TMF right now. I'm not trying to time it. I'm not saying this is the bottom in TMF. Heck, rates may go for another move to the upside initially, and that means TLT, TMF market is probably going to have it could actually have a pullback in the interim. But I'm not trying to time the markets, okay? It's not that type of approach. All I do say is I don't know how, I don't know when, but by the end of 2024, right here, let's actually do a little bit of a line for you guys. By the end of 2024, right, when the elections happen from there to there, I do see that TLT is probably going to be at least up around this level here, around the $30 level mark, which is $9.60 up to $31 there. That's what I see, that at least doing that. Make sense? So they're the big things I'm actually watching for right now, and the big keys that I'm watching for right now. And I do believe that this is the one market that I believe is going to see an incredible move to the upside because of the overall cycles of what I've just said there. So just to recap, guys, on what I talked about today. One, what tends to happen on the Fed days is that the Fed days, I've seen so many times where the Fed days actually have a good bullish day in the markets, like we saw today, like a good bullish update today, or a good bullish move today. I've seen so many times that being counteracted by a complete movement on the downside. If you've been watching and studying that, you actually see it yourself. So that's the first thing we talked about. The second thing we talked about is that, not from a trading perspective, but more of like a couple of year sort of position, couple of year type of view, is that what's likely to happen? We're going to go into recession. The recession is then going to kick in down to them cutting rates, them starting to then print money to force down long-term rates if the free market hasn't done so at that time. Which is going to then start to what? Inverse is then TLT and then TMF are probably going to see an extraordinary quality move to the upside from what I just said there, because it's just following the cycles.